This is EQAI, and here's Founder Mode by Paul Graham. In a recent YC event, Brian Chesky delivered a talk that left a lasting impression on everyone in attendance. Most founders agreed it was the best talk they'd ever heard, and even Ron Conway, for the first time in his life, forgot to take notes. Rather than trying to reproduce Chesky's talk, Paul Graham explores a crucial question it raised. Why does the conventional wisdom about scaling companies often fail founders? The advice typically given to growing companies is straightforward. Hire good people and let them do their jobs without interference. Chesky initially followed this advice, but the results were disastrous for Airbnb. He eventually found a better approach by studying how Steve Jobs managed Apple, leading to a remarkable improvement in Airbnb's performance. The common advice on scaling companies tends to mirror how you would run a company you didn't found, essentially how to manage like a professional manager. But this method feels wrong to many founders because it doesn't leverage their unique position and abilities. This dissonance suggests the existence of two distinct modes of running a company: founder mode and manager mode. Historically, the assumption has been that scaling a startup necessitates switching to manager mode. However, the success of founders who have resisted this transition hints at a different, more effective approach. Founder mode is not yet well documented. There are no guidebooks or business school courses dedicated to it, and most founders are left to figure it out on their own. The approach taught to managers often resembles modular design, managing through layers of delegation, treating departments as black boxes, and avoiding involvement in the details. On the surface, it sounds ideal: hire competent people and give them space. However, in practice, this often translates to hiring professional fakers who can damage the company. A recurring theme from Chesky's talk and conversations with other founders was the feeling of being gaslit. Founders are pressured from all sides by well-intentioned advice to act like managers and by the behavior of their employees when they do. While it's usually wise to question oneself when everyone else disagrees, this is one of those rare instances where founders are often right and the conventional advice is not. Founder mode likely challenges the principle that CEOs should interact only with their direct reports. In founder mode, skip-level meetings may become the norm rather than an exception, allowing founders to engage more deeply across all levels of their company. Steve Jobs exemplified this by running annual retreats for what he considered the 100 most important people at Apple, who were not simply the top 100 on the org chart. This approach could make large companies feel more like startups, fostering agility and innovation, though it requires immense effort and conviction. Clearly, founders can't manage a 2,000-person company as they would a 20-person startup. Some level of delegation is inevitable. The extent and nature of this delegation will vary across companies and even fluctuate within the same company over time. Founder mode is inherently more complex than manager mode because it adapts and evolves with the company's needs. But, as shown by the success of founders experimenting with it, founder mode is also more effective. Graham suggests that as we learn more about founder mode, we may discover that many founders have intuitively embraced it, even if their actions seemed eccentric or unconventional at the time. This is a hopeful thought because if founders can achieve so much despite the current headwind of misguided advice, imagine the potential once they can consistently lead in founder mode, learning from the success of leaders like Steve Jobs rather than following the footsteps of professional managers. That's the essence of founder mode by Paul Graham. An evolving approach that empowers founders to lead in a way that aligns with their unique strengths and vision, and that could redefine how companies grow and scale in the future.